but their influence on the numbers of the population as a whole is largely indirect, and is exerted by way of the ethical, social, and domestic habits of life. For these habits are themselves influenced by economic causes deeply, though slowly, and in ways some of which are difficult to trace and impossible to predict. Footnote. Mill was so much impressed by the difficulties that beset a parent in the attempt to bring up his son to an occupation widely different in character from his own, that he said, "So complete, indeed, has hitherto been the separation, so strongly marked the line of demarcation between the different grades of labourers, as to be almost equivalent to an hereditary distinction of caste, each employment being chiefly recruited from the children of those already employed in it, or in employments of the same rank with it in social estimation, or from the children of persons who, if originally of a lower rank, have succeeded in raising themselves by their exertions. The liberal professions are mostly supplied by the sons of either the professional or the idle classes. The more highly skilled manual employments are filled up from the sons of skilled artisans, or the class of tradesmen who rank with them. The lower classes of skilled employments are in a similar case, and unskilled labourers, with occasional exceptions, remain from father to son in their pristine condition. Consequently, the wages of each class have hitherto been regulated by the increase of its own population, rather than that of the general population of the country. But he goes on, the changes, however, now so rapidly taking place in usages and ideas, are undermining all these distinctions. His prescience has been vindicated by the progress of change since he wrote. The broad lines of division which he pointed out have been almost obliterated by the rapid action of those causes which, as we saw earlier in the chapter, are reducing the amount of skill and ability required in some occupations, and increasing it in others. We cannot any longer regard different occupations as distributed among four great planes, but we may perhaps think of them as resembling a long flight of steps of unequal breadth, some of them being so broad as to act as landing stages. Or even better still, we might picture to ourselves two flights of stairs, one representing the hard-handed industries, and the other the soft-handed industries, because the vertical division between these two is in fact as broad and as clearly marked as the horizontal division between any two grades. Mill's classification had lost a great part of its value when Cairnes adopted it. A classification more suited to our existing conditions is offered by Giddings. It is open to the objection that it draws broad lines of division where nature has made no broad lines, but it is perhaps as good as any division of industry into four grades can be. His divisions are 1. Automatic manual labour, including common labourers and machine tenders. 2. Responsible manual labour, including those who can be entrusted with some responsibility and labour of self-direction. 3. Automatic brain workers, such as bookkeepers. And 4. Responsible brain workers, including the superintendents and directors. The conditions and methods of the large and incessant movement of the population upwards and downwards from grade to grade are studied more fully below. The growing demand for boys to run errands, and to do other work that has no educational value, has increased the danger that parents may send their sons into avenues that have no outlook for good employment in later years, and something is being done by public agency, and more by the devotion and energy of men and women in unofficial association, in giving out notes of warning against such blind alley occupations, and assisting lads to prepare themselves for skilled work. These efforts may be of great national value, but care must be taken that this guidance and help is as accessible to the higher strains of the working-class population when in need of it, as to the lower, lest the race should degenerate. End of footnote. End of chapter 6.